Morning, morning, morning. It's 7:30 a.m. and actually this is a uh, crazy ass time for me to be awake right now. My girlfriend, she works mornings and I bartend at night, so I don't go to bed sometimes till like 2 or 3 a.m. I actually went to bed last night at a decent hour, so you'll have to excuse the bedhead and drinking coffee. Um, I'm going to do a book review today. It's called The DaVinci Code, A Quest for Answers by Josh McDowell. It's not the actual DaVinci Code novel. Um, it's actually like Christian propaganda that I picked up from Goodwill. And surprisingly, I actually enjoyed it. I actually thought it was a decent book. It's 100 pages, so it's a quick read. I started one morning and read it in a day. And even then, it wasn't really a complete full day. I just picked it up off the shelf, read it, started in the morning, and went to work at like 4. So basically, it's a counter to Dan Brown's The Holy Grail, or Da Vinci Code, sorry. Um, but let me first start by saying that Dan Brown basically is a subscriber to the conspiracy theory of a earlier book, which is called Holy Blood, Holy Grail. And by the way, if you want to read it, you can. You can get it pretty cheap by now. It was written like 80s or early 90s, something like that. And that's pretty much what started this whole Da Vinci Code and the Holy Grail conspiracy theory that Jesus, as a physical person, his offspring, is still alive today, which is what the Da Vinci Code is about. The Da Vinci Code actually gets into some cool stuff like the esoteric geometry and stuff, the phallic and the female, the whole reverse triangles, as above, so below, all that jazz. And actually, the Grail symbolically would be the vagina, the cup, which actually is true. In the occult, the chalice, the Grail, the cup is always representation of love and or the vagina. Like when you read La Morte de Arthur and stuff, the whole visions and stuff of the woman holding the cup, and they're all seeking the Grail, but it's a woman holding a cup. They're trying to tell you something. It's not the cup, it's the woman holding the cup. And I don't know, like everybody's focused on the physical Grail. It's the cup of Christ, the cup of Christ, which there could have been a cup of Christ, as far as like a physical person, I would think, I don't subscribe to it, but I don't exactly think, that there wasn't a Jesus physical person. If there was, it would be a guy, his name's Joshua ben Joseph, which if you want to look into that theory, read the Hiram key. It's pretty good. I've actually referenced it tons of times on this channel. But seriously, you got to read it. It's a good book. And I'm not saying I subscribe to it completely or anything. I leave all doors open and all options open. But that's essentially, the Grail is the woman, the bloodline. The King David bloodline. It goes back to King David and Solomon and all that jazz. But it was the reason I don't like Holy Blood, Holy Grail is because it's based off of fake, hoaxed documents by a guy named Pierre Plantard. Him and his couple buddies, they made fake documents and started this whole thing. Pierre Plantard is basically a maniac in like France that wants he's an anarchist occultist who wanted to become like the king of France. Um, so he made up these fake documents and actually planted them somewhere. It gets into Rene Lechaute. Sorry, I'm probably butchering that. But that's actually kind of cool. Historically, if you want to look into that, Rene Lechaute, it was this weird Christian sect, and it's actually one of the crusades, like Catholic crusades that a lot of people don't know about. And the Catholic Church just went in there and were slaughtering them and killing them off and stuff. And their belief system's actually pretty neat. Holy Blood, Holy Grail kind of gets into that. I'm sorry if I'm throwing a lot of information at you at once, but that's when you get into the Grail mythology and stuff, that's how it is. It's super deep. And I've been studying it for a while, reading a lot of different books and stuff on it. But yeah, so the DaVinci Code, Dan Brown subscribes to this whole, it's already been proven a hoax by like this whole theory and fake documents and stuff created by Pierre Plantard to overthrow the French government and become king. Or whatever they have over there, prime minister, president, I don't know. Sorry, I'm ignorant. I have to admit I've never read Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code. I've seen his movie, and the movie was dope. I thought the movie was awesome. But back to this book, I do have to say though, like this book is written in a novel form. They put out a lot of factual information, and it is good on dissecting through the bullshit like Holy Blood, Holy Grail. And the thing is, like with Holy Blood, Holy Grail, the author, there's Michael Bygent, Richard Lay, and Henry Lincoln. The guys still believe in their theory after finding out it's a hoax, after finding out that it's proven wrong. It's like, I don't know, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, you know? I'll say I'm sorry, I'm ignorant, I'll read more, I'll study more, you know? But like, don't believe in something after it's proven wrong. I don't understand that. I don't get it. But this book here, the one I'm reviewing, it's written like a novel. There's like a bunch of teenage kids. Excuse me. And they're kind of questioning. They watch the movie and they get interested in it. So they start going on their own Grail Quest, which is essentially what getting into the whole Holy Grail mythologies and myths and legends and the Holy Grail subject in general. The Grail Quest is like, a lot of people go on it. You know, it's kind of one of those things when you get into it. The whole point of the Grail Quest is to grow as a person spiritually or find your own path or your opinion what the Grail is. Everybody gets something different out of it, you know. It's kind of like a vision quest, but it's essentially when you start getting into the subject of the Holy Grail and studying it, you're going on your own personal Grail quest, and everybody gets something different out of it. And I've been on mine for a little while, and I'm still on it. I still read about it and study it. I mean, I've been interested in that type of stuff since reading or watching King Arthur as a kid and stuff. But yeah, it's written in like a novelized form, which that was entertaining. I did like that. So I do think they geared it towards young adults. It is propaganda, this book. So at the end of it, do expect the whole fire and brimstone, because it is coming and that's what happens. And I ain't gonna lie, I mean, the dude that wrote it, he's pretty good at making you feel edgy and scared like you're gonna burn in hell forever at the end. So, but I'm used to that. I grew up listening to all that. One complaint I do have to say about this book is that they try to debunk like the whole zeitgeist thing, but they do it in a shitty fashion. They bring up Mithras because Mithras was during the time of Christ and or after. they're uncertain about the dates of when Mithras popped up as far as occult. He was basically a sun god, a sun deity, which essentially, that's what I'm about to get into. Christ is essentially a sun deity. Mithras, born on December 25th, born or died for 3 days, risen, born of a virgin, all that jazz. Which, by the way, watch Zeitgeist, man. Anybody who is out there watching this and hasn't seen the film Zeitgeist, it's actually on Netflix right now. I know everybody's Netflix crazy right now, and that is one of the biggest things that I was super psyched getting on Netflix and seeing Zeitgeist. I'm like, oh my god, finally the public it's readily available to the public. And everybody needs to see it, man. Everybody needs to see it. Anybody who is religious or used to be religious needs to watch it. They debunk Mithras, which is fine. But they leave it at that. Like, that's good enough. They're like, okay, well, we debunked Mithras. Let's go on to the rest of the book. And it's like, dude, you realize, like, there's tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of other deities, sun deities, with the exact same story of Jesus Christ. What about all them? Like, what about Horus? What about Horus? And I'm going to get into that right now, actually. Horus is the exact same story, but Jesus was based off Horus. And Horus was earlier. He's Egyptian mythology. So let's just do one little thing for a second. This is how thick this book is. And I have this book here. And this is anybody who's watched Zeitgeist and wants to, study more on it. Or if you haven't watched Zeitgeist and you want to just check out some, information about sun deities and stuff. There's this book here called Christ in Egypt, the Horus-Jesus Connection. That's how thick it is. It is insane the amount of information on this subject compared to... And the thing is Horus was around before Jesus, whether you like it or not, study it, study Egyptian religion, and I have, I'm not boasting or patting myself on the back, but I was just honestly interested in it since I was a kid, Egyptian religion and stuff. And I haven't had the freedom until I was an adult to actually start studying it, so I did. So please watch Zeitgeist. It's not a super long film, Instead of watching Jerry Springer or some stupid game show, watch that for a day. It's sit down and just pop some popcorn, chill out and watch it. But yeah, this is... Honestly, I know I probably sound negative and a lot of people think I'm being negative, but it's a very good book, man. I liked it. It's a really quick read. I read it within 4 or 5 hours. I'm a slow reader though too. I would check it out. You can get it online, I'm sure, or I got it from a Goodwill. I get all my books usually used. But, I do have to say this. I almost forgot. With the whole, and this has nothing to do with the book, but there was like some monk or something, I don't know, back in the day, some priest or something, that when the question came up about Horus, like followers questioning Christ's existence and stuff with Horus, he actually had the gall and nerve to say that Satan time traveled and copied Jesus' story, went back before Jesus to ancient Egypt, and came up with the story in a myth before Jesus, so that way it would look like Jesus copied Horus. You'll have to look him up. I've actually seen other documentaries kind of zeitgeist themed, and that was the counter argument to Horus, was that Satan is a time traveler and copied the story of Jesus and presented it earlier in myth form before Jesus. Okay, that's... If you want to believe that, that's cool. But yeah, it's a good read. Read it, check it out. I actually enjoyed it. I give it a good review. Don't want you thinking I'm negative or Christian bashing. You all believe in whatever you want. I'm just here to present a book review and information. Don't read Holy Blood, Holy Grail, though. It's a piece of garbage. I mean, you can read it if you want. If you want to waste your time, it's thick as hell and it's already been proven a hoax. But you all have a good day. I'm off today. Probably take a nap later because this is super early for me. This is probably regular time for the rest of the world. But have a good day. You all be careful.